Was batting as well, not at his cracking best, but
Morkadair is off the mark with a punch down. It's long on. He's played a lot of cricket here this year. It's Morkadair with the Northern Knights. This, of course, is their home venue here at Stormont. He likes playing at this ground. He likes batting here. It's the first time he's had a hit this series. Short pulled into the leg side. There is a fielder out there. Oh, Mujib kicks the ground in disgust because it's yet another chance that goes begging.
I think it just went through his hands.
Well, it's gone all the way for 6. I think you're right. I think it just burst his hands.
Let's have a look.
It's a short ball, hit very hard, but it's a long hit to that leg side boundary. Oh, he's palmed it over the bar.
Yep.
I mean, just as we were saying, the fielding was improving.
No, it hasn't. I mean, it was a good catch earlier from Naveen. That's absolutely right. But one bird doesn't make it spring. So I think overall, it's no secret their fielding standards have not been impressive at all.
Yeah, it's been a mixed day. I'm pretty sure that was Naveen as well out there. So he's put 2 down and he's taken 1. It's a mixed bag. That's swept by Dare. It's straight to short fine.
Another fumble. Quite a lot of them today.
Well, it's the end of the 11th. An eventful over that. And I'd like my thanks to Hamid. We're both going to depart, and to take you through the next handful of overs is Andrew Blair-White and Alan Lewis.
Nice to see Hamid with a smile on his face. Very happy man at the moment is our Hamid. Afghanistan back in this series, Andrew Blair-White.
Definitely. It's been a very good performance of bat and ball from Afghanistan so far. Probably the less said, the better about their fielding still, but they've taken a few catches, dropped a couple, but they're still in a tremendously good position here, and one would have to think they'll be getting themselves on the board in this ITW T20 International Series.
Oh, Karim Janet's effort in the last over on the boundary. That's a good shot. Easy too. Just talking about that chance in the last over. Reminded me of YMCA thirds, that effort on the boundary. Hands everywhere. Straight out through the red basket.
Over there.
Oh, he's gone, I reckon.
They've turned it down. Mark Hawthorne's turned this down, and Mohammed Nabi is absolutely apoplectic at the moment. And as is Ibrahim Zadran. It was a terrific piece of fielding, and he didn't have a great day in the field yesterday, but that was absolutely superb work. I must say, that seamed out.
Oh dear, and you can see Gurbaz, he's not a happy man. A lot of hand gesticulations for different reasons. Mohammed Nabi having a word in the ear. Mark Hawthorne not having any of it, but it did look out from here. It has to be said. I know we're not in the greatest positions, but as we know with direct hits, Andrew,
it just seems like Dockrell would be struggling if it was a direct hit. A little bit of force behind that throw into the keeper from Mohammed Nabi.
Anger, I would have thought, from the skipper. He said a few little quiet words with Mark Hawthorne in this game. Wide delivery to Zadran early on. He was at the non-striker's end having a mutter. Of course, ICC match referee the Sarge, as she's called. She informed me today, Sandra McPherson from New Zealand, keeping an eagle eye on proceedings here, making sure the spirit of cricket is upheld. Former policewoman, hence what she was christened by the faithful in New Zealand. A sparky character.
12 overs gone. Ireland 84 for 6. How do they go about this 8 overs on?
And they've just got to keep going. Look at that scorecard. Apart from Lorcan Tucker, really, no one got themselves in. Some very clumsy shots. Sterling, Balbirnie, Tector in particular. And realistically now, obviously you've got 2 hitters at the crease, but 106 from 48 deliveries is going to be tough. Very tough. But as Mark Adair proved against New Zealand, he can do it. Remarkable innings. 37 from 16. Of course, we had Zadran early on. 42 from 18. And that's the start. And that's gone straight. And it's going to be out. Hasn't got all of it. And easily held. Mark Adair. Rashid Khan's had a good day at the office in the field. Very happy man. They've been much better in the field in general, Andrew. And you can just see a spring in the step. Would have been hurting Afghanistan after the first 2 losses.
Yeah, I thought off the bat here Mark Adair had gotten plenty of this, but just not enough. It was one of those, he was looking at it, hoping. And Rashid Khan was able to clutch it around a yard inside the rope. We were making golf comparisons earlier. Mark Adair had a face of a man that knew it wasn't quite the number.
We call that a Condoleezza Rice. He sliced that one. Really opened his left-hand side, which will, of course, negate the power. And that's what it did. And Rashid Khan gleefully took the catch. And it's been a disappointing batting display from Ireland, really, Andrew.
It has, and I think the thing that they'll be disappointed about is that this is a pitch that actually runs are there to be scored on. I don't think 190 is potentially unchaseable on this, but had to get off to a good start.
There might be another here. Indeed there is. Ball ricocheting off the stumps at the non-striker's end. Won't worry Afghanistan too much really this stage. Very much in the ascendancy here. Unless Dockrell can go on one of those onslaughts that he did in Pembroke. Clutch victory from the jaws of defeat in a very quick space of time.
Only Black not giving it a wide. That was a very similar situation to the one that Mohamed Nabi was a bit disappointed about in the first innings. Shanahan is through for a single to finish the 13th over. Mujeeb causing issues today. 88 for 7.
Yeah, it's the vagaries of T20 cricket, Andrew. You know, you can get a number of exciting finishes. Of course, we had a fantastic one. Day 1. Day 2 was a rather drab, low-scoring affair. And Afghanistan kind of showed away a patient beginning. Gurbaz and Zazai laying the foundation for a very good score. And as you say, overall it's been a very good pitch, but a number of Irish very tame dismissals.
It hasn't been a batting display that Ireland will want to live long in the memory. That's a good shot from Fionn Hand round the corner. It's going to go away for a boundary. His first boundary in international cricket. Swept past short fine leg. And gone away past Rashid Khan at deep backward square.
Much interest in the dive there.
Relatively escorted.
Yeah, just not going to fuss too much at this stage.
Hand more than capable with the bat in hand. We've seen that in the interprovincial domestic system here, playing for the Munster Reds, has contributed with many a good knock. I think that's obviously a great position for him coming into this Irish team, that he is able, with all facets of the game, to contribute.
Dockrell disappointed there. Full toss from Nabi. Big space there between deep backward square, deep mid wicket. He felt he should have got it there. Oh, that's a very good shot indeed. One bounce, 4 over extra cover, and he'll be very happy with that, Fionn Hand. It's an excellent shot.
Yeah, Mohammed Nabi tossing that one up, I think, wondering whether Hand would maybe take the bait, and he did. Played a lovely shot as well. Tries to scoop this one over, and I think the ball is going to run away for another boundary for Fionn Hand. So he moves quickly to 16 off 9, a handy little cameo. Excuse the pun, 14 overs gone, 102 for 7.
Interesting place for it to go, mind you. It seemed to go off the back of the bat. Unintentionally, I would have said, but it makes no difference. 4 it is. And Ireland scrape over the 100 mark. Nabi's 4 overs costing 38, rather expensive for him. So 88 required from 36 deliveries. Big ask at 3 wickets in hand.
Hit down the ground. Has he got enough on it? He does, George Dockrell. He's got it all the way off Rashid Khan's first delivery. And just a little bit of life being injected into this Irish innings.
Well, one of the advantages here, George Dockrell has a great propensity to hit these short balls when a lot of people would hit them square of the wicket. And he has this ability to be able to punch the ball, low full tosses, that type of delivery, often straight back over the bowler. An area where, of course, there's no cover, and he's extremely strong.
Just a little bit of a delay trying to find the ball, which they've managed to root out from the trees.
I was fascinated early on, Andrew. There was a lot of this range hitting going on, practicing before the match. Must have been 20 balls went into those trees. If I was a young fella, I'd be nipping those into a plastic bag and taking them home.
I think you still might be doing that at the end. Hasn't got enough on that Dockrell. He's just managed to get it straight enough. Fionn Hand's come back for two and gets back for two. Good running. Rashid Khan, unimpressed, flicks the bail off with his own hand. The hands are out again. He hasn't been happy bowling this week, Alan.
No, he just doesn't seem to bowl with any sort of rhythm, which is strange. But it can happen, even for the greats of the game.
Playing a miss from Dockrell. Just trying to target Khan here. It's made for exciting watching the last over or two for Ireland, as they've added a little bit of respectability to this scoreline. Pulled away. Oh, that's more abject fielding out of deep mid-wicket.
I think Rashid Khan will very shortly have a heart attack with this fielding of his bowling. He's constantly been on the teapot. Every ball that's hit into the deep. But that was really extremely poor.
Well, I know I really wouldn't say it very often, but that is brutal fielding. Really, like, slanted on his shoelace.
And he's been immediately brought 80 metres over to the other side of the field, out of the danger area. Rashid has seen enough.
Plundered down the ground by Dockrell. 4 more for Ireland. So certainly a bit of fun being had here. George Dockrell continuing on his good form, moves to 32.
Well, this over is now 16 deep for Rashid Khan. Not often that will happen.
And a dot ball to finish off. 15th over, complete. Ireland 118 for 7.
And it happens too to be the biggest over of the innings, going for 16.
Going to be another change in bowling, obviously, with Mohamed Nabi having finished off his complement of 4. It looks like Mujeeb Rahman is going to kind of come back into the attack, this time from the Dundonald end of the ground. Mujeeb has been good today, 2 for 20 from his 3. And certainly caused Fionn Hand a couple of issues in those couple of deliveries he bowled him a few overs ago.
Sporting a new hairstyle too, Mujeeb, you can see that. All part of modern trends. Image.
It's a fantastic shot from Fionn Hand. Just helped that one over Hazratullah Zazai, short fine leg, and gets himself another boundary into the 20s now.
That is very good from Hand. It's a shot he plays a lot. He's just got enough on it, and that's excellent. First ball of the over. Do we have a Houdini finish on here, Andrew Blair White? That is my question.
And now that you've said it, there's no chance, but you have to keep quiet there. It's like moving your seat in the changing room. Swept away more conventionally. Rashid Khan's going to have to do work, and does work very well to keep it down to 1. He'd been moved a lot finer after that shot from Hand.
Well, there would have been sacrilege had he missed out there, Rashid Khan, having had the teapot for one of his own fielders of his own bowling. Did very well there, got down quickly, got back to his feet, got the ball in. Excellent fielding from him.
Carved away. Call is 2. and they're going to come back first, get back comfortably as well. See, I said this to you when we were on for the first 5 overs, that 65 off the last 5 overs would be very much doable if you had the wickets.
Fair point. If these two can stay another 12 or 15 balls, perhaps go at 1.5 to a ball, and you just get one big over, and it can do it for you. And Dockrell's done it before. That's the big thing, but it's a big ask all the same. Mujeeb now resorting really nearly to medium pace, just trying to get it as full as he can, smothering Dockrell there. But Dockrell's done very well now, 34 from 19.
Yes, you see, same again from Mujeeb. Medium pace, Yorkers almost being employed, and Dockrell unable to get a bat on it. Last ball, the 16th coming up. Really good skills from Mujeeb. Very good day at the office from him. 2 for 28 from his 4. 16 overs gone, Ireland 126 for 7.
Well, he's effectively bowled 3 Yorkers there, forgetting about spin, basically medium pace. And that's an excellent spell of bowling from Mujeeb, Nathan.
Yeah, we've said it a few times now, but it's a different game for these Afghan spinners when they can squeeze and Ireland have to continually take risks against them. No surprise to see Mujeeb back in the wickets. One man who was not back in the wickets was once again Rashid Khan, but it doesn't look like he's going to get his 4th over here. Instead, it's going to be Naveen ul-Haq, who, well, you've not been too impressed with some of his efforts out in the deep with those 2 drop catches today, Alan, have you?
Certainly not. But he's certainly bowled very well. Shown that early on. But again, probably when you look at the downfall of the Irish batting, some very tame shots, really, Nathan.
Good option, I think, to Dockrell. I think if you try and go Yorkers to him and you miss, you will be punished. I think you got a much better chance of dismissing him, not necessarily by going short, but rolling into the pitch and taking a lot of pace off it.
Well, he's very good at that, Naveen, isn't he? He's got some lovely change-up, slower balls. And then he has this one that he can just generate that wrist position, that quick Yorker.
Well, there's that short ball, but Dockrell read it well. He waited on the pace off the ball with mid-off up. That was too easy just to swat it away.
That's not an easy shot to play, though, Nathan. You know, there was literally... That was on the way down as it got to him. And he still was able to, look like at the last minute, club that. Not an easy thing to do that, to get it over mid-off. Of course, mid-off in the circle.
Well, I think he's trying to target that area regardless. I think it's an area he likes to score in a lot, and they've got that fielder up. So you combine those two things, he's going to look for that option. So for him, it was just a case of adjusting to the ball once it completely died in the pitch, and he's done that pretty well.
Very well. Very, very well.
After a bit of a search for the ball, it looks like they found it.
Might have found one from earlier training days.
Yeah, it's not the first time today that the comment has been made that when you go looking for the ball in the Stormont bushes, you might not come out with the right one.
Well, Rolly Black is happy, that's the main thing, so Naveen is to continue.
Fionn Hand is going to come back for the second, and pretty comfortable in the end. Probably shouldn't have been that comfortable. Nongon didn't have too much ground to make up to his right hand side, but again, just another sign of no, they're probably going to win this game and win it reasonably comfortably, although who knows with George Dockrell in the form he's in. But Afghanistan's fielding continues to be a significant concern. Another a strong shot down the ground. George Dockwell immediately calls for two, but he's not going to take on Rashid Khan. He's one of the few Afghan fielders who has displayed that you can't take him on in the deep.
Fionn Hand's done a good job here, hasn't he, Nathan? 21 from 11 on debut. Obviously got a wicket on debut, so a pleasing day.
Yeah, well, he came in with a bit of a free dig, didn't he? I think it was 85 for 7, if I can remember it correctly, when he came in. So I think it was a case of play a few shots, get Dockwell on strike and see what happens, and all of a sudden he's had his fun and he's got his side into a very good position considering where they were. Confusion. I tell you what, not sure where that hit Fionn Hand, but he seems to be okay. It certainly made a big thud.
Hilarity in the back of the commentary box here between Tector and Siggins. No surprise. Siggins always quick with a chirp. There's something humorous capability to it. Of course, providing all statistics here, which is great.
Oh, what a shot that is from Fionn Hand. It's gone all the way. Navin O'Hack went into the pitch and Fionn Hand said, "Thank you very much, I'm just going to carve you away over wide extra cover."
It's a fantastic shot, it really is.
Stand and deliver. Well, I tell you what, it's the last ball of the over. Ireland need boundaries, and arguably more importantly, they would have wanted George Dockwell on strike in the next over. So a bit of a free hit there for Fionn Hand, just to stand and deliver, and that's exactly what he's done.
Wow, fantastic shot, really. Just who knows? 51 from 3. Just one big over. I know it's partly a wee bit of wishful thinking, because in terms of where the match is at, really, Afghanistan in the ascendancy. Ireland never really got going, but this has been very pleasing for the crowd that have joined us on a beautiful day here at Stormont.
Well, it certainly makes the end of this game just a touch more interesting, and Mohamed Nabi has responded to that by bringing on his trump card, Rashid Khan, for his final over. Oh, goes strong down the ground. It's in the gap, dead straight. He loves it there. There's George Dockwell. Rashid Khan can't bowl full here.
Well, the question is here, Nathan, is Rashid Khan going to go wicketless for the third game in a row? When will that, or when is the last time that's happened?
I don't think it's ever happened.
Thank you very much for that, Nathan.
Well, he's gone further into the pitch and he's hit it wide of long on, but he's able to... No, there's never two there.
Okay. I was about to say Hand has to come back, but you're right, Nathan. There was never two there.
Yeah. Not as big a boundary on this leg side as it was yesterday. It's just... This makes the start of Ireland's innings just that bit more frustrating, doesn't it? In terms of, you can see the value of those wickets in hand. This is 2 or 3 more wickets left in the shed. This is probably not far off a match-winning situation for Ireland. I think Hand initially said no there, on instinct, having picked out the man, but George Dockwell called rank and said, "You're coming through and getting me on strike."
Absolutely. 47 from 27. Dockwell again. That's going to be 4 more.
That's going to be 50 for George Dockwell. 51 off 28 deliveries. What an innings this is from Ireland's finisher. Is he going to drag them into a position where they can get an unlikely victory? This would be up there in the annals of Irish T20 wins. George Dockwell raises his bat in celebration. The Stormont crowd rightly rises to him. It's been a fantastic innings.
Fantastic innings is right. great to watch.
Rashid continues to go short. This one follows Dockwell. It looked like it was the googly, but he's able to carve it out into the offside for one.
Your language now, Nathan. This really becomes a free hit for Fionn Hand in terms of get down to 36 from 2. Still a huge ask, of course.
I wonder if that's what George Dockwell was just saying to him here. Saying, you enjoy yourself here, young man. Pick where you're going to go early. Make sure you know your option and commit to the stroke. Rashid Khan's got one more delivery to ensure he doesn't go wicketless for a third consecutive game. And goes the pull into the leg side. There's a chase on here. Oh, it's a good bit of work out of deep square. I think that's Naveen Ul-Haq, who we've been more than critical of today, but he's done a decent job there running around to his right. Crucially, they get back for a second, which means George Dockwell keeps the strike at the end of 18 overs, earned 152 for 7.
Well, rather surprisingly, would you believe that's George Dockwell's first T20 international 50?
Well, I tell you what, it doesn't quite surprise me that much, considering A, where he's batted in the beginning to middle of his career, and now the fact that he has been pinpointed as that man to come in and face 15, 20 deliveries. It's very difficult to get those half centuries, but look, the form he's been in, the way he's converted himself, and I think you have to say, if you look at global T20 cricket at the minute, he's probably one of the in-form finishers out there right now.
Absolutely, and there's the scorecard there. Difficult beginning. Faruqi removing both Sterling and Balbirnie. And again, between really premier batters Sterling, Balbirnie and Tector, lose shots today by their own standards.
52 off 29 from George Dockwell, good for a strike rate of just under 180. It's a serious effort considering how much this Afghanistan spin attack in particular were squeezing things before he came in. Naveen to continue, and that's a good block haul delivery.
Certainly is. Has the ability to do that in a vein. Mixing up with these slower balls. But it's been an excellent partnership. 68 from 35 deliveries. Whilst it might be in a losing cause, Fionn Hand has done very, very well here. Strike rate at 200.
Naveen goes pace off. Fionn Hand was looking for the reverse scoop over short third. Probably not a bad option considering the field would find back and third up. He's failed to make contact. Not a lot of pace on the ball offered there by Naveen.
The other thing now is this partnership between Dockwell and Hand is a world record for the 8th wicket in T20 cricket.
That's remarkable.
There you go, Nathan Johns. We're full of tidbits of information that even you and your journalistic flair. Nice to see you scrambling there, Nathan.
Slower ball again, and Fionn Hand has absolutely pummeled that over the offside. He loves that mid-off region, doesn't he, Alan Lewis? Once again, he punishes Naveen for bowling into the pitch.
Well, it's a better option than the other one, but he's absolutely clubbed that. That is a fantastic shot.
Well, speaking of tidbits, Alan, my turn to try and stump you. Fionn Hand has just set a world record. Highest score by a number 9 on debut.
It's all happening out here.
That's a fantastic stat from Mr. Siggins behind us.
That is extraordinary. That'll certainly be remembered in the Hand household this evening. If they're to get over the line, it'll be even more extraordinary. 31 now from 9 deliveries. What do you feel they might need off a last over, Nathan?
I think
20?
I think the target here is if you can get it to under 20. Who knows what's going to happen? They're going to be hitting to a slightly shorter leg side boundary, remember. towards us here, towards the clubhouse. Stranger things have happened. It's still a significant ask, and it only takes 2 or 3 good deliveries from Afghanistan here to win the game. But
well, of course, we've got to remember that series. Ireland 20 required off Ireland's last over. Michael Bracewell did the job. So it is possible we were there to see it live. And will we be seeing it live here today?
well, Afghanistan have changed things up. Quite rightly, they've put mid-off back, which, given how strong hand has been there today, it's a surprise it's taken them that long. And goes to the ramp. It'll be a tough chance running over the shoulder, but it's taken. That's the end of Fionn Hand. He went for that ramp shot. He got it on the full. It was there for the shot, and he doesn't get enough of it to clear the man running back at short fine.
What a fantastic innings from Fionn Hand. Caught by Zazai, but it was a brilliant innings from Fionn Hand. Really entertained here today. And it was there for it, Nathan. It was there.
Pace on, and Naveen didn't go to his slower ball with a fine egg and third up inside the ring as he thought he might. Well, I suppose the one silver lining from an Irish point of view is that they did cross. George Dockrell will be on strike, and he'll have 2 deliveries here. Hand goes for 36 off 18. He's delighted the Stormont crowd for half an hour or so. Strike rate of 200, 4 4s, 2 6s. A debut knock to remember.
Absolutely.
Graham Hume's the new man, but he's on the non-strikers end, and Stockwell hits that one hard down the ground, but he'll only get a single. Oh, Graham Hume has one job and one job alone here. That's to send this ball long over the ropes. Ireland have no interest in a single here.
Absolutely none. So he's really got a freebie. Graham Hume, he's got to try his best to do something with it. As you say, one is of no use. George Dockrell really has to be on strike unless there's a definite 2 in the cards.
Interesting to see what a field the Afghans put in place. Mr. Hume, looks like they're going to have a fine leg back. Deep mid-wicket. Long on. Mid-off is up inside the circle. Deep points. You're Graham Hume here. What's your area? Where are you targeting? You've got to pick it early and back yourself.
Clear the left leg, or in his instance, the right leg, and club it wherever you can, as you say, to the shorter boundary for him. Easier said than done. That's a wide ball, that helps.
Oh, you can see what Naveen is trying to do there. Oh, I'm not sure about that option. It's a very short boundary to Hume's square leg region. Just needed to get a bit of bat on that, and it could have sailed. It was a risky option to go with the short ball.
Round the wicket now from Naveen.
Oh, there's that short ball. Graham Hume's going to have to turn and go here. Mujib is slow to the pick-up at fine leg. Hume with the dive, but he's gone. This time Mark Hawthorne raises the finger. Well, not the worst result in the world for Ireland. They do get 1 run, and George Dockrell is on strike.
Well, it was the only thing really he could do, Nathan. In actual fact, looking at it coldly, it was a brilliant throw from Mujib. Gurbaz didn't really have to move. He could kind of work with the throw, but Hume did the right thing. I think in the context of the team, that was the most important thing. He just got down the other end as quick as he could and tried to get back to ensure that Dockrell was on strike. So 29.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was a brilliant throw from Mujib, considering we thought as he was running around he was very slow off the mark, running to his left at fine leg, and I thought Graham Hume had a good chance of actually getting in there, but he's nonchalantly ran to it and just pinged it in over the top of the stumps.
Absolutely.
As you do.
Razi, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, Nazmatullah Marzai. At the end of Navi Nul Hak's spell, by the way, 3 for 38, a little bit on the expensive side, but those 3 wickets, looking back at it now, given Ireland's issue as wickets in hand, were crucial. 28 to win.
Who are you backing, Nathan?
Backing Afghanistan every day of the week here, Lou.
Going to talk to Mr. Blair White. Any odds? We can't talk about those sorts of things. I'm terribly sorry, AB. Terribly sorry. Of course, ABW, big horse racing man, injudicious of DA Lewis there. However, 28 are required from 6 deliveries.
Big gap, wide long on here for Dockrell if he wants it. He gets a low full toss. He can't get. Oh, he has to. Yeah, right option there. He turns down the single. Well, it makes the equation simple. He's got 5 deliveries, and every single one of them has got to disappear. Well, that should be that. He's hit it in the gap, and he might pick up 4. In fact, he will. He splits long off an extra cover brilliantly.
Well, I was only going to correct you there, Nathan. 4 sixes and a 4 would get us
Would.
super tied, super over. However, he's got to put these 4 out of the ground.
That one hard over the offside, but there is a deep extra cover in place. One bounce to him.
As you said earlier, Nathan, when you consider Ireland are within 24 of victory from the start that they had, it just shows you the value of how Afghanistan went about their business today.
Low full toss again. Dockrell. He's just going to treat this as a range hitting session now. Can't get it past Mohamed Nabi at long off. The Afghan crowd is starting to cheer. Oh, as Amarzai keeps his foot behind the line. This is done and dusted. Good option. Slow ball bowled into the pitch. It's the first time he's taken pace off in this over. Dockrell was using his feet. It's not something he does a lot of, Dockrell. We tend to see him get deep in the crease and just launch the ball straight. Perhaps a sign of frustration at the fact that the game is gone.
Yeah, it's been tough because it's been a great effort from George Dockrell. Obviously that partnership, record-breaking partnership with Fionn Hand on debut.
That might be a wide. It is a wide. Sharp bumper from Amarzai, but it's too high.
I like the look of this Amarzai. Beautiful action, rhythmical to the crease. He's quick, and he can only get better.
You're not the tallest bowler in the world, more of a skiddy. With that pace, like you said, it's dangerous. And those fast Australian pitchers later on in the year, it could be a handful. Well, that brings an end to proceedings here at Stormont. An excellent full delivery. George Dockrell plays and misses outside off. Ireland ultimately fall 22 runs short of Afghanistan's total. George Dockrell with a T20 international career best innings of 58 off 37, but bar 5 overs of fun from Messrs Hand and Dockrell, Afghanistan were by far the better team today.
Absolutely. Afghanistan well worthy of their victory, it has to be said. And we are now going to go for a break before we come back for the post-match presentation.
Afghanistan have drawn back in this 5-match T20 international series at Stormont. Now into the